Hello, hello. The kid is streaming. We are out. Alright, hold up. Okay, got that. Alright, hold on. Alrighty. I might put on some music for myself. In a second here, but where did the chat box go? Oh, okay. What the fuck? Yo, what up, Nick? How's it going? Thanks, man. Yeah, I want to finish this thing I want to finish painting this tonight, and then I want to be able to ink this whole fucking thing like tomorrow. This has been on my drafting table for a long time, like 2 weeks. So I just want to get this over with. But it's coming out cool. Looks pretty cool so far. I think I might need to retouch this green. Because this green is way darker than the green that I made, which is kind of annoying. But we'll see. We'll see. I think it's okay. I don't know. I'm going to keep going. Can always paint over it. How's it going, man? Are you done teaching already? This is Nick Ford, yeah. Yo, what the fuck? You've got the touch. I love the perspective and the trio. Thanks, man. Yeah, Winter Soldier rules. Crossbones also rules as well. We'll go in a little bit closer. Yeah, this is fun. I just gotta get this thing done. I gotta get it done, get it inked up. Teaching, I'm a sellout attorney by trade. Oh, okay. I was literally just hanging out with the guy named Nick today. And his name is Nick Forrester, so I was like, is this the same Nick who I was just hanging out with? I think I'm gonna have to paint this green over. Because these two greens aren't matching up. Shit. Fuck. Yeah, dude, I'd love to do Winter Soldier versus Daredevil. That'd be fucking awesome. Oh no. Alright, I gotta mix some paint. Because I mixed the wrong kind of green. Damn, son, that's annoying. I knew that green felt kind of off, but it's okay. Hold up. Well, this is why you stream, so people can see. People can see how the sauce is made, basically. I mixed like so much green because I didn't want to have to do this live, but fuck. Yeah, I knew that green was off. Damn. Because I think I just mixed back. Okay. So from here now. Hopefully this will be a pretty simple fix. Otherwise, green is such a crazy color to play with because the last piece I did had a green background because I like the color green. I like painting it. I feel like it adds a very fun vibe. You know what I mean? Just, I don't know, green's just like a cool vibe. Let's see if this matches up a little bit more. I feel like it like tones down like the gratuitiveness of some of my paintings. You know what I mean? It kind of keeps it like kind of tongue-in-cheeky when you add like green to the background for some odd reason. But we shall see. Let's see if this green. Let's see what we're working with here. Might have to throw in some more yellow. Yeah, I was hanging out with the comics people today. They're a podcast, New York podcast, and one of the guys is named Nick Forrester. So I was like, hey, shit, Nick, aren't you supposed to be teaching right now? You lying motherfucker. No, those guys are awesome. We had a really good time hanging out. Did a little show and tell kind of show. Yo, what up, B? Poor Cap's getting bodied. Yeah, dude. You know me. You know me. You come to see me, you gonna get my character's just getting bodied, bruh. Alright, let me see if this green is actually a little bit better. I think already you can tell the difference. Let's see what that looks like when that dries. Kova, how's it going, yo? You've been killing these pieces. Thank you so much. This one I can't wait to like ink it, because I think I like the painting part, but I really want to get in there and sling some ink on this guy. Actually, let me take a picture. Actually, I have a picture of this. Okay, come on. But yeah, I totally did the wrong color of green here. But that's okay. That's the good thing about gouache, is that you can kind of keep going over it. Especially with like this like flat style that I do. You know, I'm not like mixing colors or anything like that, so. You can always fix the mistakes. I think I'm just gonna paint over that blood and just redo that blood. The blood I always do last, but for some odd reason I really wanted to jump in there and get it going. I don't know why. But yeah, I just was like, fuck it. Yeah, how's everybody's night going? Like I said, I had a pretty good day. Hung out. Want to give a quick shout out to the podcast / YouTube channel, the comics people, for having me on today. Super fun hanging out with those guys. I'll show some of their work. We traded some books today, so. I actually have to do a Green Goblin too. I got a lot of commissions that are like fun right now that I'm like, very excited to get to. But you know, you gotta finish what you start. You know what I'm saying? What's that Gorilla Biscuit song? Finish what you started. I can't say the rest because we're on YouTube. Finish what you started. I think that's either Gorilla Biscuits or Youth of Today. But he goes, finish what you started. Don't be retarded. Just finish what you start. Life lessons from a New York hardcore band. Can you link me the pod you did? We just recorded it today, so it's not out yet. But I will. As soon as that thing drops, I will definitely pop it in the Discord and I'll send it to you. It's cool, man. We just looked at a bunch of comics that like have influenced me on Nosebleed specifically. So it was awesome, and we just like kind of chatted about the books and just shot the shit, shooted the shit. How do you do past tense for shooting the shit? Shot the shit. I guess that's how you say that. But yeah, New York rules. It was gorgeous today until it started frickin' raining. Is it raining by anybody else? Ah, shit. I wasn't supposed to go that far. Oh well. So we're stopping here with this color green. We're going to stop here. Okay, we're good. I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, painting is such a stressful thing to do. Like when you're doing these first couple layers, it's so stressful. But then when you start kind of like locking things in, like what we're doing now, then you're like, all right, this is fun now. Like this is looking good. And start thinking about the inking that's gonna happen on it. And then it gets fun. But like those first couple hours of the painting, it's just like, oh my god, this is like the worst idea I've ever had. Fuck. This palette's not working. You just like are freaking out the whole time. It started to like, it was like a beautiful day. Like it was gorgeous. And then it just started to like, it got super duper cloudy. And it's doing that thing where it's just like, am I gonna rain? I don't know. Shit, it drops a couple drops and you're like, oh shit. So I just immediately ran to the to the train station after that, or the, oh my god, the subway. What's wrong with me? My brain is fried. Also, real quick, I just want to plug something. I also started my Patreon back up. It is solely focused on Nosebleed now. There's over 100 pages, and it's being updated as we speak. So yeah, man, if you guys have been a fan of Nosebleed, go over there. We're going to be dropping it there exclusively from here on out. So if you want to read it every month, that'll be the way to do that, is on the Patreon. Art blog is shutting down, unfortunately. I think they just kind of ran out of resources and manpower over there. So after 20 years of being a awesome blog covering Philadelphia, covering the Philadelphia art scene, they are shutting down, man, the end of this month. So I've got one last chapter to do for Nosebleed, for them, and then you can continue reading the book on the Patreon. On le Patreon. So yeah. Le Patreon. Drop the YouTube link and all around. Oh yeah, I will. Smells like it's gonna rain tonight. Beautiful weather this week. Gorgeous weather this week, man. Beautiful dogs. Gorgeous weather. Everything's awesome. I hate the rain. The older I get, the more I am just like, I know we need it, but it just sucks. I do not dig the rain at all. Over the rain. I'm over it. But yeah, like, you know, obviously, you know, we need rain. But boy, does it suck when it rains. Especially when you live in a city. Like, that's just like, normally you live in a city and you're like, ah, it's grimy, but it's beautiful right now. Like, the birds are out, you know, stuff is chirping, you know, I don't know, it's like a sunny day, it's nice out. Then when it rains, man, you're like, oh god, I live in a fucking shithole. Why am I doing this to myself? You know? Like all the trash that's just kind of sitting there normally that you can kind of ignore, now it's just like flooding the street and shit. It's awful. You're like, oh, I gotta get out of here. Then the next day it's sunny and you're like, ah, never mind, this place rules, it's got charm. This place has so much charm. I gotta remember where my vanishing point is, by the way, because I have to ink this. So I need to keep that in mind. That's the thing that kind of sucks too about doing these gouache paintings, is like I pencil very tightly and then I have to just like paint over it and then I have to pencil it again or like print out. I print out basically like a copy of my pencils just to kind of have, so I can remember where everything is. but it's like I spend all this time and effort like penciling these pieces, and then I just have to like paint over them. It's kind of a bummer. Yeah, it's a real bummer about art blog, but apparently there's some people are trying to kind of come together to figure out like a new alternative to it. But it's hard, man. I mean, the blog era is done, and I feel like Philly Art Blog was kind of like the last one holding on, you know? Like, nobody really like surfs the web like that anymore, so it's really hard to keep readership or whatever. Patreon, le Patreon. Definitely gonna have to repaint. I'm gonna have to get a darker green now, because now I did this dark green first, like last night, like pretty late, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna attack the rest of this green tomorrow, and I shouldn't have done that because now it's hard to kind of figure out the hue again. But I got it, but it's just like I'm gonna have to like, kind of go in there and touch this up. Got some new comics too. I definitely want to show off, or not show off. Not that sounds mean. I definitely got some comics I want to share with you guys. That sounds better. Too, if we get to like a nice little stopping point. I got the Treasury edition of Fall Sunrise by Trad Moore. Oh, Maron, you gotta go get. I think that is the definitive way to read that book. And good on Marvel for doing that, for putting it out that way, because I love Trad Moore. Trad Moore's, that'd be hilarious if I blacked up his name like that. Like, yo, I love that. I love me some Trad Moore's. But anyway, Trad Moore's art, and especially on that book, is awesome, but it's so like the printing that much detail that small, man, was like, it was tough to read. I couldn't really. I bought like the first 2 issues and I just couldn't really like my eyes felt tired after reading it, so it was kind of like kind of hard to get into. But seeing it at this size, at like almost like I think like board size, basically, it's like pretty big. This is the way to read that book, man. Trad Moore, if I don't know how he didn't win any industry award. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, that book should be Eisner nominated. Eisner, everything. He should have got every single award possible for the artwork on this book. This is one of the best comics Visually, I mean, just like a visual odyssey comic book. I don't know. I mean, I think this book. I know this book was a big deal when it was coming out, but I don't think he won any awards for this book, and if that's true, that needs to get rectified. Like, that man. Is that technically a 2024 book? Can someone look up when that book was getting published? I think it was like 2023. But that book, man, is... Yeah, they're going to do studies on that book one day. They're going to go, here's what happens if you just keep drawing. Keep drawing and keep pushing yourself. You can eventually make something like this. No awards would blow my mind. But even then, it's basically changed SEO. Now you have to cater to AI SEO for search engine results. It's tough with all the different sites because it's good for a while, then all of a sudden they sell out to AI. Oh, yeah. Wait, bummer on our blog. That's my next question. Okay. Yeah, dude. How the frick did that happen? How did this book not get any awards? That's crazy, man. The comics industry, man, it's just so fucking weird. Okay, yeah, it's not looking too terrible. It won a few awards for it, or at least tried it. Okay, that's good. It got an Eisner. Okay, good job. I was about to say, man, what the frick? All right, I'm gonna have to turn this a little bit. Hopefully, that's not too annoying for the viewer. But yeah, man, so I scored the treasury edition of that. My buddy Tyrell, who just had a successful Kickstarter. Congrats to the boy. We actually bought it like the same day. He got his off of Amazon, because Amazon had it for like $14 for some odd reason. I don't know why that book was that cheap, because normally it's like a $30 book, and right now, you know, I live in New York, man. Like, I can't really be spending $30 on anything that ain't food related, you know? So I kind of held off on buying that book, and then Free Comic Book Day was like last weekend, so I was like, oh shit, I can get it for, you know, Forbidden Planet was having like a crazy sale. They were having like a 35% off sale. So I ended up getting the Treasury edition for like $20. It was awesome. It is definitely well worth the $30 though. It's worth it. I don't want anyone to think I'm being cheap, but my rent actually just went up, so it's even higher now, which is fun. Let's see. Yo, Tyrell is dope. Met him in person at NYCC. back to his Eris as well. Hell yeah, dude. I did a pinup for Eris, so you will see it eventually. He's actually coloring it because I had to jump on this, but I drew up a really cool pinup for him, and then he's gonna color it. So I'm excited to see because Tyrell's a really good colorist too. I'm surprised he doesn't try to get like coloring work as like a side gig, but I mean that probably sucks. But yeah, Tyrell is a really, really good colorist. So, and he sent me some shit that he just does for fun. Like he'll apparently just like color over like people's stuff just for like fun. I'm like, damn, dude. I've been here almost a year. Next month. Yep. So every year our rent is gonna go up, which is fun. Which makes no fucking sense, but what do I know? I'm not a landlord. Just makes no sense that it's just like why is the rent going up but everything is staying the same? Like are we getting new toilets or some shit? Like what is this rent increase going towards? Am I crazy? I might be crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. No, I know it's common practice, but it's still just, it's just like, really? Are we all getting, like, bidets or something? Like, with the, are we getting a security guard for the door? Like, why is the rent increasing this much and everything is essentially going to stay the same? But in New York, you can't really I'm ready to fight, but my girl was like, I do not want to move again. Please do not argue with our landlord. And I was like, I just want to see if it's negotiable. But I started looking it up on Reddit, and I saw like horror stories where they're like, our rent went up $400, and I'm like, okay, that's crazy. That should be illegal. I mean, there's stuff that landlords, like the New York real estate system needs to be like rebooted. This shit is, it's crazy. The shit that we had to go through to get this apartment, I'm never moving unless they either increase the rent so goddamn much that we just have no choice, or my girlfriend, she's my fiance, I shouldn't say girlfriend, but my fiance is about to, she's a doctor now, so she's about to have a way higher income than me. So unless she really wants to move, it's all up to Mama Jones, basically. If Mama Jones, if she wants to move, then we'll move. But yeah, we had to sign up for like an insurance company. So we had to pay for an insurance company, basically, that I guess if we decided to just stop paying rent, the insurance company would cover the rent, because we both didn't make nearly enough money to, I guess, have this apartment. And that's saying a lot, because my girlfriend, like I said, is a doctor, and she makes a shit ton of money. and that still wasn't just enough for them. They want you to have 40 times the amount of rent, basically. And I know that sounds like I'm making that up and I'm being like fictitious and like lying, but I'm not. I was like, who in the fuck makes that much money? Who's making 40 times the amount of rent? And if so, like, this is crazy to me. But that is a very normal thing here. So yeah, man, shit's wild. But I do love it. I was able to get a BLT and a Pepsi, and some chips right out the bodega. Hopped on the subway. Looked at some cool New York buildings. New York. So it has its perks. The architecture here is so cool. I might have to start drawing buildings again. I've been thinking about it. That's not fictitious. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's a bar, bro. Need an enema? Is it a private landlord or a management company? It's a management company, which is annoying. It's like, just let me deal with the landlord, bro. Because we just went through a little bit of drama the other day. They wanted us to re-sign with the insurance company. And we were like, we paid rent on time for an entire year. We've clearly shown you that we can make our payments. Why would we fork over another $3,000 to an insurance company after living here for a year? And luckily we got it figured out, but I was like, man, what the fuck, bro? Like, how much money do you need, As Bill Burr says, how big's your fucking yacht gotta be? How big's your fucking yacht? I actually just watched his new special on Hulu, Hilarious, and it was okay. I still love Bill. Hey, Bill. But this one wasn't my favorite. This one was not as good as like Paper Tiger or man, what was the other one? His Netflix ones are awesome. I think my favorite Bill is I think it's Paper Tiger. That's the one where it's like black and white, right? That one's awesome, man. I used to be obsessed with fucking Bill Burr. I would listen to that dude's podcast all day at work and then be walking around like angry. And I was like, oh, it's because I've been listening to a guy scream about the things that he's mad about all day. And I had to stop listening to his podcast. It was just making my life worse. But it's hilarious, it's hilarious to hear a guy like rant about, these fucking street cleaners, My wife, I love her to death, but Jesus Christ, if she asks me if I want cream one more time. And that guy is hilarious, but when I worked as a janitor, I would just put headphones in like all day, and I'd just be putting on like podcast after podcast, and it would just be, there'd be days where I'd just literally just be walking around with like a frown on. I was like, and I'm like, oh dude, I'm like listening to Bill Burr way too much. People would ask me like, how's your day? I'm like, how's your fucking day? I'll tell you how my day's going. These fucking kids upstairs. They clogged the toilet again, and I gotta clean it. You think that's what I signed up for? To clean kid shit out of a 200-year-old toilet? That's how my life's going, Sharon. How about yours? And they're like, geez, Derek. Get another job. Like, I can't. I was just thinking about that job the other day. Because I'm like, the management company tried that with my sister, and we got on the call, and they said all the number were in error, and they dropped the increase a lot. Oh, no shit. Next time you have to deal with the rent, you should say you have an attorney on the call. They don't play games when they know you got counsel. Oh, hell yeah, dude. I'm doing that. Good call. I actually have a lawyer. You know, I can't afford to pay that motherfucker right now, but if I have like contract stuff, I have a guy, so I'll just be like, yo, Barry, can you just like play an attorney? I mean, I know you're like an entertainment lawyer, but can you play, you know, an attorney? Yo, also Brian, my attorney, oh my god, my lawyer, he's like a spitting image of you, and he does the same. He's your doppelganger. It is hilarious. This guy is completely your doppelganger. He talks like you. It's insane. I'm like, hey, this is fucking Brian if he was a lawyer. How weird. Boy, was that stressful getting a lawyer. We had to get a lawyer for Plunder. Plunder got optioned a couple years back, and me and the writer, you know, we owned Plunder 50-50, and you know, it's just a lot easier if stuff gets optioned. You know, you hear a lot about comic books getting optioned, and then the writer gets sued by like the creators because the writer like either like, you know, asked for full rights, blah 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 blah, and that was a situation that was like kind of happening. Like, it was just like, it's just easier if it's like if the movie studios are dealing with like one person. But then I was like, well, I'm gonna get screwed out of my rights. So we had to go. Me and my buddy Swifty, we had to go to court with each other a little bit. It sucked. Luckily, it didn't ruin our friendship, but I could definitely see how getting lawyers involved in anything. I was like, oh man, I want to kill this guy. But it was very expensive to have to get a contract made up and go back and forth about stuff, and you know, it was awful. And then COVID happened, and then the movie didn't get made at all. So we just flushed a bunch of money down the drain. But I got my lawyer off of Google. I just Googled entertainment lawyers. Found the guy. He's a good guy. He's like, yeah, I think I can handle this. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. I like your honesty. And yeah, I didn't lose the rights, but you know, the freaking movie didn't happen, so. I kind of wish it did. Like, my dream with Plunder was that like a studio just picks it up, and it's like becomes a movie that they just keep making shitty sequels to, you know? It's like it just becomes a franchise that like the first one's like really good, and then every single one after that is just a hunk of shit. I was kind of hoping for something like that, you know? Lawyering is all problem solving. You gotta protect yourself. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Hell yeah, dude. Nick, are you an entertainment lawyer? You said you do lawyer stuff, right? I'm such an idiot. You do lawyer stuff. Alright. Now we gotta lighten this shit up. Did he handle it? Yeah, he handled it. No. And me and Swifty are still friends. We survived. But I definitely wanted to kill him. I wanted to be like, why are you doing this to me? You motherfucker, why are you doing this? But yeah, that was awkward, man. I was like, Jesus Christ, I get why people hate each other after having to do some shit like this. You know what? I need to call Swifty. Swifty, if you're listening, I gotta give you a call. My bad, dude. I'm a fucking horrible friend. I'm really bad at keeping up with people. Keeping up with the Joneses. Very bad at it. I don't mean to be. I gotta take a picture of this real quick. Okay. It's not fucking... It's mostly like, I feel like... I don't know. I kind of feel like... I'm like, what do you want to hear about? Like, I've been drawing, you know? Like, when I think about, like, catching up with people, I'm just like, I've just been drawing. I've been trying to get better at drawing. That is literally all I've been up to. That's my life update. I'm still not good. How about you? I still suck at drawing. It's insane. I know. It's crazy. Isn't that crazy? I still suck at this. Anyway, that's all. That's about all I got going on. What about you? But no, I know it's like a thing I've been meaning to get better at doing. It's just like, hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? Also, apologies, Nick, if you said that you were a lawyer already and I just forgot. Painting and streaming at the same time is very hard to do. If you guys have noticed, like, I've slowed down on the streaming just because I've been doing so much more painting, and it's just tough to paint and draw. But tonight's going exceptionally well, so maybe I broke the spell. Yeah, tonight's been going pretty good. I'm gonna have to lighten this up just a tad bit. That looks cool. All right, let's see. I would have a hard time coming back from that one friendship wise. Yeah, it was a little rough. I'm not gonna lie. It was a little rough. But it's business. Like, you know, you always hear about, like, you know, in hip hop and shit, they're like, it's just business, man. It's just business. And, you know, we definitely didn't talk for a little bit after that. It was definitely like I'm gonna go my way, you go yours, and you know, I'll send you a text around. Well, the funny thing was he thought I was mad at him, and I was like, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad that we had to fucking do all that shit. I was like, I don't want to. I obviously, like, if you. Because he, like, Swifty was going out and really trying to get this movie, like, made. So it's like, I'm obviously not going to get in the way, but I'm also, like, you know, I'm technically, like, on paper, a part owner. So it's just like, we got to just, you know, we got to figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? We just got to figure this thing out. Figure it out a little bit. But yeah, he was like, I kind of thought are you mad at me? And I'm like, no, man. ain't mad at you. I'm mad at the situation. I'm mad that you can't just like option something and then everybody's like, yeah, you're involved? Great, cool. Like they're like, we want you to fuck over your boy. How bad do you want this movie made? Are you willing to fuck over the guy that helped you make this thing? That's what I was mad about. It's just like, it seems like they could just deal with both of us. But I guess they've probably tried it before and then, you know, somebody got a huge ego and they're like, just totally ruined the process. Which I explicitly told him, I was like, I'm cool. I don't want nothing to do with this. Just send me a check. You know what I mean? You don't got to ask me to approve shit. I don't care. Don't care. Could care less. You know? Because that's something that's just like, dude, I don't even want to get my hopes even... Like, you know what I mean? Like, someone being like, yo, we're going to make a nosebleed movie. I'd be like, okay, well, I'll be excited about that as soon as, like, I see, like, the credits roll. You know what I mean? But getting pumped for that, I'd be like, nah, bro. Shit ain't gonna happen. Yeah, check's in the mail, baby. Send me my motherfucking check. Alright, I have to find a different way to paint this angle because this is hurting my hand. This is hurting my hand. Okay, there we go. But yeah, no, it's all good. It all worked out. I gotta hit that man up. I gotta be like, yo, what's good, bro? But yeah, there was almost a movie made about a comic that I drew years ago. Isn't that crazy? That still would have been cool. I would have been like, wow. Even if it was bad, I mean, you know, probably would have been bad, but just because most movies are bad, not because of anybody involved. It's just like, yeah, most movies suck. But that still would have been crazy. So, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, somebody holds the rights to make that into a movie. So, and so pitting you against each other is less weight. So yeah, that's just what they just want zero risk, and so pitting you against each other is less risky. Oh, really? Go to the Knicks playoff game. Wait, let's see. Good reason to work out rights before you start working with anyone. Well, we did. We just, because the big thing was like when you work with Boom and Archaea, it's like me and Swifty, or like you and like the writer, or just the writer gets like has like the IP rights, but then the IP gets split between like the entertainment rights or something like this gets split between the publisher and the creative. So it's like I own 25%, he owns 25%, and then like the publisher owns like, you know, I don't know, 60% or some shit. But the book did so bad that after we put out like the last issue, and like 6 months later, they just gave all the rights back to us. They were like, please take this shit, get it out of here. We don't ever want to see or think about this book or both of you ever again, you freaking failures. Yeah, man, putting out a failing book was awful. That was a crazy feeling. I was like, wow, this is not good. I was like, oh shit, we're not good at all. Fuck, no one cares. No one likes our book. But actually what I learned after, like, years later, we were a part of this initiative at Boom of, like, diversity. It was, like, a diversity initiative, so it was, like, they were just publishing books by, like, anybody of, like, color or something like that. And so all the books tanked. Like, none of the books did well, and none of the books got trades. And for the longest time, I thought it was just our book got a trade, didn't get the trade treatment. But it was like the entire line, like all of them got cut. It was crazy. And I mean, I was a part of like Afua-chan had a book, and that book looks awesome, but apparently did shit. So that was crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy times. They'll never do anything like that ever again. They're like, we hemorrhaged so much money banking that one of these idiots would get us a hit. I was so ashamed of that book that I kind of missed out on. Never mind. That's a little TMI. I can't finish that story. I can't finish that story. All right, fuck it. I'll finish the story. I was so ashamed of that book that I just never wanted to talk about, never even wanted to think about that book. And then a youngish writer hit me up when I was kind of like, I was working at the art school as like a janitor, and I was kind of like basically sort of almost done with comics. I was just kind of like, I think I'm just gonna maybe draw them in secret and just not ever like put them out and just kind of just be a fucking weirdo. I don't know. The industry is very brutal and hard. And this guy hit me up and he was like, yo, I love Plunder. And I was like, okay, this guy's clearly fucking with me. But he was like, yo, no, I like really like this shit. This is awesome. Like, do you want to do something? Like, I have connections at DC, and you know, I know this person and I know that person. So I was just like, man, this guy's a fucking liar. This guy, you know, he's just, I don't know, he's just saying a bunch of stuff to me. I don't know why he wants to work with me, but I was just like, nah, man, I'm cool. Like, no offense. I just like, at the time I was writing, I was trying to like write something and draw it, and it was Duck Boy, which was cool. I was working on Duck Boy. And I was just like, nah, you know, just right now I'm just not really feeling collaborating. And then this guy ended up becoming like a gigantic writer at like DC and Valley. Like 2 years later, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm such an idiot. I should have did something with this guy. Yeah, he's like a pretty big writer now. I was like, God damn it, Derek. Fucking idiot. But it's all good. It all worked out. He's happy. I'm happy-ish. I'm sort of happy. Mostly happy. As this bartender down the street from me says every time I go see him, he goes, 50-50, you know? And that's how I feel. I'm like, yeah, pretty good, I guess. I'm about as happy as you can be. I can't reveal the writer's name. I actually could, because there's only like 4 of you here. Nobody would. Derek Jones could have worked with so and so, but instead he's a fucking idiot who decided to go write Duck Boy. What's Duck Boy, you ask? A comic book you've never read, you know. But hey, I had to do Duck Boy because it gave me the confidence to go do Urges, and then Urges gave me the confidence to do Nosebleed, and we're at 100 and something pages now of Nosebleed shit, man. So I feel good mostly about that decision. Mostly. It was a good-ish decision to make, you know. I've just learned that I don't play well with others when it comes to making comic books. Like, when it comes to making comic books, to me, you know, it's touted as a collaboration, And I have been lucky enough that I've worked with writers that it has been a collaboration, but I still have to sit there and do a ton of work. You know what I mean? And the writer does a lot of work too, but I got to sit there and bring that car chase to life. You know what I mean? Or I got to sit there and make that spaceship that you wanted come to life. You know? Until writers literally pick up a pencil, you know what I'm saying? Pick up a pencil and come over to the studio and start helping out. It's not really a collaboration. Which I know that sounds very mean and mean-spirited, but it's just how I feel. So it's like if I'm gonna struggle, because it's also man, like making comics is a big struggle. It's very stressful, and I'm kind of just like, if I'm gonna do all that shit by myself anyway, like I should just do it all. Which is like my logic, you know. It's like I'm gonna be struggling, I'm gonna be sad and working my ass off. It's just might as well just do the whole thing myself anyway. Because I am doing it myself mostly anyway too. Again, not throwing shade at writers. Writers are very much needed, very useful people. Because writing plots and all that shit is hard. And I can't imagine... I want to talk to more writers about this. Like, I'd like to start interviewing people more. And just talk about, like... Because, like, how hard it is to be an artist, man. It's 1,000 times harder to be a writer. Like a comic book writer. Can you imagine trying to get, like, it's hard to get people to just look at your art. Can you imagine handing someone a script and just being like, dude, you gotta check this out. I promise you're gonna like it. And I'd be like, yeah, go fuck yourself, buddy. I'm not reading a book right now. Get the hell out of here. So, I can't imagine, like, the pain of, you know, wanting to become a comic book writer. That just has to just be, I mean, painful. Because you can get, you know, somebody can look at your artwork and within 10 seconds be like, oh, that's tight or that's not good. Maybe you'll be better in like 6 months. You know what I mean? But someone hands you a script and that shit sucks. I'm sure you're like, dude, don't you delete my email. Don't you ever send me, don't you ever send a script anywhere near this email address ever again. You know what I mean? How many times have you sabotaged shit like that? That's like the worst one. I've done other self-sabotaging where it's just that was definitely I don't know if that's even like the worst one. That's not the worst one, I would say. That's just like that's just one. That's just one that I'm like, you probably should have just did a sample page for this person, but because I think I offended him. Because like now, like I know him still, and like I became friends with people that he's friends with, and he kind of gives me like the cold shoulder now, and I'm like, dude, you know, it's like it's not personal. I just. You know, I was being legit. I was like trying to write and draw my own shit. But I hit them up. I hit them up recently to be like, hey, if like you ever want to like, this was like before I started Nosebleed. I was like, hey, if you ever want to like, you know, try to work on something, let's do it. It was just like, no response. I was like, ooh, ouch. 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 But it's all good, man. Like I said, it worked out. We're all happier now. We're all happy people now. Alright, so now we can ink this ting. Upon ting. Oh shit. I rip and I rhyme. I rhyme and I rip. Okay. Got a little bit of a tangent going on here. Let's fix that. I feel bad. I think if I ever see him at a con or something, I'll try to bring it up. Like, dude, it wasn't personal. It wasn't personal. I was trying to go my own way. You could go your own way. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I was just trying to go my own way. Alright. Where is an eraser? I need an eraser. The fun thing now is like trying not to self-sabotage. It's just like, I feel a certain way. Is that warranted that I feel that way, or am I self-sabotaging? Because it could be self-sabotaging. So that's always fun. Hey, thank you, Brian. Brian just signed up for the Patreon. Do I have a link to the Patreon in the description? Let's check that real quick while this dries. It says draw with me number 38. That's hilarious. It's definitely not. Hey, thank you, Brian. It's hilarious. Okay. Check, please, Jones. Yes. Give me my check. Give me the money. All right. So this is still all right. So that stuff behind him is going to be black. So I don't really need to paint that. Anthony, or yo, bro, you free after next week? Am I free after next week, Anthony? That's a hilarious question. Yes, probably. Come to the studio, bro. Come to the studio. Oh my god. I answered the phone yesterday for Sally Mae, my the person that I owe thousands of dollars to for no reason. And I told the motherfuckers, I was like, I don't got it. Like, I don't have it right now. They're like, you haven't had it in 3 months. And I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I was like, I live in New York. I was like, all the money that I make freelance, it goes to being able to keep living here. So you'll get your money eventually, but it ain't happening today. And I figured that might make them stop calling me as much, but they've been calling me even more now. Like, I'm going to magically come up with $600. It's like, oh yeah, I found it yesterday. Yeah, my bad. It was just hiding. Shit sucks, man. Living in America. Alright. Let's paint. Let's paint this motherfucker's face. I gotta get some clean water. All this water is dirty. I definitely need to paint him. Hold up. What have you guys been listening to? I have been listening to a lot of Arm & Hammer again. I know. They're just an obsession of mine. They're like the best. Arm & Hammer is like the best rap music to put on while you're drawing. I've just been I can't. I'm just been obsessed, man. It's insane. It took me forever to get into these guys. They're very challenging hip hop, but and I hope I haven't been like repeating myself because I listen to them pretty hard and then I take breaks and then I get back into them. And then I'm just like, oh my god, this fucking band rules. Like, they're the best. Oh my god, Thanos is in the building, everybody. Thanos, say hi. So apologies if you guys have come on here before and I'm like, have you guys ever heard of Arm & Hammer? But I'm in that cycle of drawing where it's just like I've been trying to just put on like the same stuff so I'm not thinking about what I'm listening to while I'm just like drawing. And they've just been a go-to this whole year for some odd reason, man. But I just started listening to Paraffin, which is the first or second Arm & Hammer album. I mostly always listen to Haram and the other one that's newish, We Buy Diabetic Test Strips. So I've mostly just been listening to those two, but I started listening to Paraffin yesterday, which is I think that's like the record that kind of sort of blew them up. And then the Haram record really like blew them up. Yeah, those guys are freaking awesome. Alright. Oh, hi, cutie. Yo, does anyone know who sings that song? It's great when a band you like is one you can keep going back to. Oh, hell yeah. They're definitely, well, their music is, like I said, it's very challenging, right? So it's very layered and it's very complex rap music, which I know that sounds insane to say, but it's very, very complex and very just, it's crazy. Right, so it's like upon first listen, you're like, this is weird. I don't really like this. Second listen, you're like, okay, I don't still like not hooked on this, but I really like this song. Third listen, you're like, okay, this makes sense now because this song is also this is what this is gonna look like. I changed up. Look at how bad this fucking pose was before. This pose is like Kool-Aid Man style pose. I don't know what was going on with me when I was composing this, but like this looks great, and then this one I just really couldn't figure it out because I kept trying to want to show, the cool X on Crossbones' chest. Like I really wanted to show that, but it just wasn't working out, So finally, I just like turned it. I turned him, like this torso a little bit more, and I was able to bring out this leg some more because also it's just like he's just kind of like floating. Yeah, I don't know, it was weird. I don't know what I was thinking, but the only thing I do like about this is that the smoke is still kind of on him, so I was kind of thinking about doing that still here, but I kind of didn't want it to look like I was trying to cover up things, like I wasn't trying to draw stuff, so I like this pose a lot better. Living in America. Who sings that song? That song's stuck in my head now. Hold up, I gotta Google this while this dries. Living in America. Oh, it's James Brown? What? I didn't know that. Did you guys know that that song's I thought that was like a Prince song for some odd reason. Prince! Alright. We can ink this thing now. So let's slap down some ink, man. Let's fucking ink this thing. Where's my ink? So I'm gonna ink this. I have a little bit of blood here, but I made the mistake of I did the blood too soon, right? Because now, what the fuck? Email's going crazy right now. Oh, hey everybody, Diamond Eyes turns 15 today. One of the best, I think that's a good comeback Deftones album. Let's talk Deftones. Let's talk some Deftones real quick. Deftones. So I'm going to do some bullets coming out of this as well. But this is like another thing that I need to do last because there's going to be a lot of ink going on here. Bullets are going to be coming out of here. Bullets are going to be coming out of here. He's going to be getting shot, of course. Bunch of blood. Sometimes I'll leave the spaces because yellow is so yellow and red aren't very opaque, so sometimes I'll leave spaces for them, but sometimes too with gouache you can paint over with red or yellow and it'll be fine. But so I just kind of did both, but this painting I just needed to start it and get it going, so I started doing all the fun stuff a little too early, like the blood, because now I have to ink over this and it's kind of created a little bit of a problem, but it's fine. It should be okay. So, enough talk. Let's kill humans. Let's see. Do I need to add any more rocks? I should add a couple more rocks. Hold up. We're not going to ink just yet. I'm going to just do a little bit more shading for some of these rock formations that are going to be down here. Living in America. I wish YouTube would allow you to just play like actual music, not like, you know, like I love, I do love me some chill hop, right? Like chill hop is great. But it's like, it's like you can't have personality as like as a streamer. And I get it, like musicians are getting screwed over the most out of that deal. But it's like, why can't I play Kendrick Lamar on my stream? Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's gonna make people that are watching the stream be like, yo, I should go listen to Kendrick right now, and then go bump Kendrick. I don't know. I guess YouTube would have to pay for the fact that I'm playing Kendrick Lamar songs or something. I don't know. Makes no sense. It's very silly. But, you know. So I have to go find like unlicensed chill hop music to play in the background of the stream. And it's like, I like chill hop, but I don't want people to fucking fall asleep while they're watching me ink, you know? That's what chill hop does to me. Chill hop makes me just like sleepy and want to go study. Alright, we're good. Let's ink. Stop being scared. Throw down some ink. I'm scared. Where is my ink? Oh, that's weird. Where the fuck did the ink go? Oh, wait, I'll be right back. I know what it's on. Go back a bit. Hi, Thanos. Bye, Thanos. The ink is here. Hopefully it didn't spill. Okay. No ink is spilt, everybody. Give me 2 seconds. I gotta I gotta kind of like rinse this ink. Damn, this is actually looking pretty cool. See, this is like the fun part of the painting, right? When like all the flats are done, and you can kind of look at it, you're like, all right, this isn't terrible. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, we did the damn thing. This is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Where's my ink? Today was a really good day. I also inked a nosebleed page. God damn. My hand is killing me. The bride man cometh. Derek, it's Brian. Stop saying my name. I'm gonna make Brian like the unofficial spokesperson of this stream. Derek, it's Brian. Stop saying my name. I want to get a cease and desist from Brian. To the viewers at home, I will not release which one of you is Brian, but maybe you'll see if he comes back. Stop saying my name. I'm learning French right now. I'm about to take I took an intro class to French about 2 months ago. And I've been doing Duolingo ever since. What is going on tonight? Mahela, you may be eligible for a PSLF. Yeah, they're really trying to get me to give them some money. I'm so sorry, Mahela. I don't have any money. I paid for some French classes because that seemed like the smartest thing to do. But I start level 1 French now next week, I believe. So I'm pretty stoked on that. I already know how to say some stuff. Je suis dessiné, badi. Oh man, I want to learn French so bad. Dude, do it, man. In New York, there's a school called Cuckoo that I'm going to, and they do French classes. They're pretty cheap-ish. I mean, they're cheap-ish is what I'll say. Like, it's like 10 weeks, so it's like $400, but it's 10 weeks of class, which is like, okay, you're getting you're getting your bang for your buck. And the classes are really small, and the teachers are all French. They're not like some American idiot that's just like, hey, what's up, guys? We're going to speak bonjour, you know? Which is good, because I would have been like, I want my money back. I don't care how fluent this idiot is. I'm not learning French from an American. So when you walk into a store, make sure you turn to the guy and go, bonjour. Always say, s'il vous plaît. You know, not really trying to do all that. Yeah, dude. Yeah, the classes, I mean, look, I like to spend very small increments of money. But I bit the bullet again. I got the first class as a gift for Christmas. My girl got me French classes. Cause she's a chama. And then after that, it's up to me. So yeah, I'm excited. I've been doing a little bit of Duolingo just to kind of like freshen up. And Duolingo's actually not that terrible. Like I did the other one for a little bit. What's the orange one? It's like there's two of them. There's like Duolingo and there's like another one, but it's like an orange app. I did that one. Maybe it was Duolingo. This was like years ago for Spanish, and I was like, man, I don't know what it is about the Spanish language, but I cannot learn that language. I failed that class miserably in high school, and I moved to Chicago, and like I lived in like a Spanish neighborhood, and just could not pick it up, and I was too scared to go do it, you know, to just like walk up to a lady and just be like, you know, de nada. Spanish people are funny because they're like kind of intimidating, but they're all nice. I don't know, so it's like I don't know why I'm like intimidated to speak, because like I live in Spanish Harlem, and so I'm still like surrounded by like a ton of Spanish people. But I just feel stupid being like, gracias. Every time I've done it, they look at me like I'm a fucking idiot. Like I go to like a Spanish like supermarket, and sometimes I'll just be like, hola, and they just like literally like look up and they're like, yeah, dude, chill. Chill on that, bro. Why don't you just say hello like a normal person, you know? But it could be me. Maybe they're looking at me because they're like, oh, this guy's trying. Or I could be right. But they're like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Why is he trying to speak how I speak? Use your native tongue. Alright, cool. This piece is done. This looks good, right? No, I'm joking. Where is... Yeah, man. Yeah, dude, learn French. Definitely learn French, though. There's got to be, like, a class or, like... In Chicago, I was learning it, and I just, like... I heard a lady speaking French. This actually happened twice. I heard a woman speaking French, and I went up to her, and she was, like, with her kid. And I was like, would you give me French lessons? And she was like, sure. And I'm pretty sure she gave me a fake phone number. Which was weird, because I was like, I was also with my girlfriend, so it's like, bitch, I'm not hitting on you. Like, you know? But she never responded, so... And then, again, I was also, like, near the same place, and I heard a lady speaking French, and I went up to her, and I was like, hey, like, you speak français? Or, like, vous parlez français? She was like, yeah, duh. I was like, cool, like, would you ever want to, like, you know, give me some lessons? Non-sexual, promise. And she was like, sure, I need to, like, work on my English. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. And I felt kind of bad because we would get together, and it's hard to teach English because, like, in America, like, there's a term called, like, broken English, you know? Where, like, it's fine. Like, as long as, like, you're speaking English, I can figure out what you're trying to say. You know, so I kind of told her that. I was like, you already have a very good grasp on the English language. You know, and I was like, I don't know. Like, nobody's going to be... I mean, I was like, I don't think anybody's going to have trouble trying to figure out what you're trying to say. you know. But I was like, yeah, you know, I mean, you can ask me stuff, and I'll do my best to try to, you know, help you. But it was funny. She was like, okay, like, what are some fishes that are like native to Chicago? And I was like, I have no idea. I was like, why do you want to know that? Like, nobody cares about fish out here. I was like, you definitely should not be eating the fish out of that lake if you're going fishing in that lake. But it went well. For a really long time, we would meet up like once a week. And she would just kind of be like, okay, like if you know, if you want to say car, this is how you say car. Like, this is how you say car. One second. Sorry guys, let me grab toothpick. Where is my pencil? Jeez. Another time though. Damn, these are old. I got these like Christmas. These are from Hobby Lobby. I haven't been there in a minute. Let's see how old these guys are. Hopefully these still work. Oh yeah. Oh, these puppies are fresh. references. There we go. That Bucky. Man, why does this fucking pen not work? Sometimes these guys really don't like to work with gouache. It's very annoying. Cooking with gas. Why is this ink so gray? Thank you. I'm trying. Inking is always like the fun part, but also like the very fucking stressful part. You know? Because it's the part where it's just like, I just want to go nuts. But I'm also working on this other piece that I've had to go back and fix so much of it because I was going nuts, you know? So I'm trying to slow myself down a little bit so I'm not going crazy, you know? Sorry, I know none of that made any sense. But like go nuts by like what am I trying to say? Like I'll just start slapping down lines without really like thinking about what like the form is that I'm trying to like the form that I'm trying to show or tell. So yeah, you know, just trying not to jump too far ahead and just start making a bunch of lines and then being like, ah, crap, I don't like those lines. But also not being so precious too is like the other part of that coin. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you want your shit to look fun, but you don't want your shit to look like a mess. At least I don't. I don't want that. I've spent too long at being like a messy artist, and it's just like, all right, like let's try to be clean. There we go. It's already looking a lot better. Yeah, that's looking better. Way better. Okay, buddy, where are we at now? I'm also kind of one of those people too that's like, I do a lot with my inks, but I still kind of need those pencil lines there. You know, I still need those pencil lines. Especially like when I'm like first starting a piece like this, it's just kind of like I need to like kind of sit there and noodle with the pencils a little bit before getting comfortable, and then you can start to just draw with the inks. But I'm not quite there yet with this piece. Getting there though. I really wish my my Tombos would. There's something about Tombos and gouache that they just really do not get along. It's very strange. Like you can get a couple lines out with like a Tombow, and then it just starts to dry up. It's like the gouache is like sucking the life out of the bristles or something. I don't know. It's very strange. Tight. Where are we at? 4 more minutes. Okay. So I hope y'all had fun today hanging out with the boy. I think this is how I envisioned it. This is like the underside of that arm. Something like that. Okay, so Bucky has this like crazy, it's not just like lines going straight across the arm. So it's like you gotta kind of kind of do some cool stuff with this arm. Some cool lines with that arm. Hey, good, glad to hear it, Nick. Yeah, man, make sure you subscribe so you can always. How'd you find out about the stream, if I may ask? Tell us in the comment section below. Yeah, I gotta get out of here. Yeah, how'd you find the stream? Just curious how people are finding the stream. Yeah, it's gonna be tight. I follow you on Instagram. They're like little mesa shapes. Yeah, they're crazy. Like I got some pretty good references here, as you can see. Wait for it. There we go. So I'm gonna have to get like my thinnest brush out to really be able to accomplish those lines. Okay, cool. This is gonna be tight. Alright, so I did not get any freaking pistol. I kind of like winged it on these pistols because I know that they're moving. You know what I mean? But now I gotta go look up pistol references. Agent 710. Okay, cool, man. I'll give you a follow back. Oh, God, I'm so tired. I need to eat some food. Alright, so I'll be back. I'll probably end up finishing this off stream because I'm so close. I just have to kind of ink it now. But, yeah, man, so far so good, right? Like, I feel good about this one. That's a problem when you do these commissions, man. It's just like, you got to send them away, and like they always turn out pretty cool looking. And I'm like always sad to have to kind of frame them and ship them out. But they go to a good home, so it's all good. Captain America's armor is going to be a pain in the ass. I still don't really know how I'm going to draw that. I'll figure it out. Just leave me alone. I'll figure it out. Who remembers suicidal tendencies? Do you guys give your Steve Rogers a butt chin, or is that just me? All right. We are out of here. I'm going to finish this off strum. Such a pleasure. Sign up for my Patreon, you guys. Here, I'll show you the Nosebleed page I inked today. This is page 21. So, it's fucking awesome, man. We got some cool shit going on over there. You can read over 100 pages of Nosebleed. And going forward, Nosebleed 3, 3.5, it will be posted on there exclusively. So sign up for the Patreon, please. It'll help me to keep Nosebleed as a paying gig. Yeah, man, it'll just help. So I like making comics, and I want to make them for you. So yeah, give it a shot. Go give it a follow. It's awesome. And yeah, we're gonna be doing some secret streams over there as well. If you like what you saw basically today, I'm going to be doing that exclusively for Patreon people, like bi-weekly. And yeah, so yeah, give it a shot, man. Go over there, sign up for the thing, and it helps out. All right, I'll see you guys later. Peace. Oh shit, I should start recording. Stop streaming. Yes, I would.